Exploration of the Fine Arts and Dr. Michael Sullo present The Art of Drawing with Charcoal. Today's study, The Old Oak Tree in Winter. We will start this project using the ancient 9-square grid, a technique developed long before 1-point, 2-point, 3-point mathematical perspective. In doing so, we can choose the upper vertical line or the lower vertical line to be our horizon. I am using a 2B hard charcoal pencil to begin the sketching of this old tree and placing the trunk in the left side of the center square. In this way, we avoid putting the tree in the middle of the paper, and in doing so, we create a more beautiful composition. The placement of the limbs and boughs of this old tree are important because many people in New England have grown up with these massive trees, and they are a remembrance of their childhood, and perhaps they climbed in them, or as an adult they perhaps had picnics with a girl that they eventually married. Many people can recognize an old tree as sure as they can recognize a portrait of a family member. This particular tree is growing on a hill that is composed of mostly shale stone. Snow does not stick to shale stone. Snow covering the stone creates the effect of a child peeking out from under a blanket. Taking a piece of paper from the copier, I'm going to rip a jagged edge that I'm going to use to create the motion of the clouds. Using the jagged edge of this rip and following the slope of the hill that we wish to create, I'm softly dragging lines from the edge. Start on the paper and rip onto your drawing, and you'll have a magnificent slope. Very simple and very effective way to create the edge of clouds. I'm bringing it down to create a second layer of clouds that we'll use in this overall piece. Using an ordinary tissue, we will blend the edge of our cloud layer to create a fumato edge. Fumato, from the Italian, a smoky edge. This line indicates the slope of the hill that the tree is growing on. Using a compressed charcoal stick, we will create a haze beyond the hill to indicate growth of trees in winter in the distance. Once again, using a tissue to blend. The haze represents trees in the far background. However, there are other trees closer to us that are more in focus, and we're going to add those at this point. Using a 4B charcoal pencil, let's restate the edge of the hill. Once again, using a tissue, soften the edge of the hill where the snow will begin to recede behind the trees. In front of these trees, in the middle ground, closer to us, there exists a group of pine trees that are much more in focus and darker in value. Now, I'm not satisfied with this pencil, so I'm going to switch to a charcoal stick and use the edge of that to create these pine trees. Still using the compressed charcoal, I'm going to darken down the areas of shale under the snow. And here, we'll add some changing values to the snow itself. It's time to start on the old oak tree itself. Using a compressed charcoal stick, we'll darken down the shadow side of the trunk. Continuing on now to the main boughs and branches. With soft, easy strokes, we'll describe the width and the girth of this tree. To blend, I'm going to use an old, very soft paintbrush. The brush at this point is loaded with charcoal, and I'm going to use that to reblend the middle ground trees. And now a few more blends on the oak tree itself. And here, creating the shadow for the old oak tree using the charcoal loaded brush. And two, to revisit our shale outcropping. To create detail, we'll use a white charcoal pencil on the sun side of our composition. To continue with the detail, we switched to a 6B charcoal pencil. Although many of the trees lose their leaves in the fall, the twigs remain in place to reblossom in the spring. The twigs, to me, give the impression of an old man at rest in winter with a stubbly beard. Some leaves cling to the tree long after fall is past. Coming close to the end of our project, we need to restate some of the details in our composition. And now to strip away the painter's tape. Ladies and gentlemen, our completed charcoal sketch. This is Dr. Michael Sullo. Thank you for attending.